Hey there, truth seekers. Welcome to the Raw Feed, the show that dives deep into the digital rabbit hole so you don't have to. I'm Gary Franchi. Tonight, we are doing something a little different. We're taking you on a wild ride through the Twitterverse, or should I say the Xverse. That's right, folks. I've been scrolling, bookmarking, and boy, do I have some doozies for you. From Kamala's past coming back to haunt her, to politicians saying things that'll make your jaw drop, we are covering it all. The best part, we are having you to come along for the ride. Throughout the show, I will be sharing your reactions from the live chat, so keep the comments coming. The spicier, the better. And hey, and if you're feeling extra fired up, head over to Rumble and drop a super rant. You want to buy Gary and Angie a coffee? Those tip links are in the description. Every bit helps us keep bringing you the unfiltered truth. So grab your favorite beverage, settle in, and get ready for a no-holds-barred journey through the world of social media. We're not just reading tweets, we are dissecting them, analyzing them, and getting to the heart of what they mean for our country. This is the Raw Feed, where we don't just report the news, we expose the digital pulse of America. Now let's dive into the chat room and welcome all of our friends tonight. What is up, chat? Good to see everybody. Who we got here? Fred is in the house. Shoryu's in the house. Lizette's in the house. Jeremy's in the house. Dave's in the house. Everybody is here. The gang is live. Great to see everybody. And let's see if we can put the chat up on the screen so everybody can say, oh, and yes, to the mods, thank you for keeping everything solid and clean. But remember, we do love the trolls here. We do, because they add a little bit of flavor to the room. Now, let's see what else we've got going on in here. Leah is in the house. Good evening, she says. Good evening to you. Our Boyd is in the house. What's up, my friend? Brian, can we get the chat on the screen? Oh, there it is. I see it. Okay, it must be some kind of a delay. All right, Jeremy's here. Resto Guy, what's up? Sean is in the house. Shout out where you are watching from, because we always like to get an idea of exactly where people are watching in the world, because this show goes worldwide. We have millions of viewers. We have millions of supporters. They are spread out all over the world. And it's always exciting to see where everybody is watching from. So go ahead and drop a chat. Let us know where you are watching from so that we can get an idea of where. Oh, Hawaii. Nice. What time is it in Hawaii right now? Fred says they don't the struggle. I don't know what that was. Okay. South Dakota, Kentucky. Atlanta is in the house. Missouri is in the house as well. Virginia. Creek Nation, Missouri, Redwood Coast of Northern California. South Carolina is in the house as well. East Cincinnati, Ohio. Welcome everyone to the Raw Feed. So I decided that we've been actually streaming really late, like going live at midnight. And let me tell you how taxing that is, because I'm done streaming at like 2:30 in the morning, and you're up all night, and it's difficult to maintain that kind of a schedule. So we decided to just kind of trim it back a little bit, and we're going to be going into the Twitterverse, the Xverse, to go through what's happening in real time, what's happening live, as well as some of the stuff that I've bookmarked throughout the day that I think is important for you to see. So, like I said, we got Chicago Mayor Johnson's recent comments about Kamala Harris, referring to her as a masterpiece of black women. Yes, that's the narrative they're trying to push now. And of course, you saw the birth certificate last night. We presented that to you. JD Vance versus a reporter, a heated exchange. A reporter asking about Trump's comments on Harris's racial identity, and then he shut them down. We also got Kevin O'Leary. You guys watch Shark Tank? I love that show. It's a great show. It's really cool to see all the entrepreneurs pitching their products. And then, when you go through the story, you see them on the shelves. It's pretty cool. So Kevin O'Leary is issuing a warning that if Kamala is elected, America could become like Canada. That's frightening. We've also got a photograph Laura Loomer dug up. Newly surfaced photo shows a 29-year-old Harris kissing a then married Willie Brown at a political function. So it was actually published. Yeah, we're going to show you that. And then another story about Kamala's Christmas controversy on unearthed clips showing Harris criticizing the use of Merry Christmas, citing concerns about inclusivity and inclusivity for illegal immigrants. Also, we've got a trailer for a new film we're going to be showcasing here tonight. It was just released. And yes, it does feature yours truly. So we're going to show you that. This is from the Veterans for Trump film. It's a new documentary titled Veterans for Trump, The Movement. It's set to release on September 1st. It will be available for streaming and free screenings nationwide to support Trump's campaign. So these are just some of the topics we're going to be going through tonight and sharing with you. And of course, what we really want this show to be, it's not just about me going through the feed, bringing you the latest controversial hot takes on X, but it's really about you and your comments and your reactions, because you guys are the ones that make this show what it is. You know, I'm here day in and day out presenting the news, presenting the opinion, and trying to dissect it all to make sense of everything. Because, friends, we're living in one of the most historic moments in American history. Right now, you and me. I could not have written a script that would have mirrored anything that we are witnessing right now. Okay? An assassination attempt on Donald Trump. The bowing out of a president from an incumbent from a presidential campaign. The astroturfing that is really threatening public perception of the truth about Kamala Harris. Now, friends, I am concerned. I really am concerned. I actually I found a poll today. We'll show you that as well. I just bookmarked it before we went on. It's frightening because the polls are starting to reflect the astroturfing campaign that is being pushed by the Kamala Harris campaign. We've been covering it, and specifically speaking, we mentioned the $150 a post, social media posts that the campaign is putting out. We've covered the Act Blue scandal, which is the smurfing of donations across hundreds of thousands of donors, unsuspecting donors, to give the perception of small donor amounts. So all these things add up to to give the Harris campaign a headline or a talking point. Look at all the small donations. Look at all the social media posts. So they create this perception, and the public buys it. The public eats it up, and it's very, very dangerous. And the polls are starting to reflect that. But we have to find solace that at some point the honeymoon period is going to end. People are saying, don't worry, it's going to end soon. But if they keep up the AstroTurf campaign, this woman, Kamala Harris, she is just a scripted teleprompter reading candidate. And like you saw when Trump did his talk, when he was in Pennsylvania yesterday, and he pointed out Kamala Harris gets a phone call from the Obamas. And they try to make it feel like it's this organic, oh, we did it, Joe. Remember that moment? We did it, Joe. But he points out that there's like 4 cameras surrounding her. And she's like, on the move. She's exiting her motorcade. She's all important. Oh, Barack, you're there. Oh, Michelle, you're there too. All these things are scripted propaganda to deceive the American people. And we are here tonight to dissect it all and to bring you the latest. So checking in again with the chat. Okay, so do we have, let's get the feed up here so we can get the latest. Okay, so I want to get to
Merry Christmas.
I want to get to our bookmarks, jump right into some of these top stories that we have been covering. Let's get to the bookmarks here. Chicago Mayor Johnson. This is remarkable. So you can see that is, that's the poll. We'll get into that a little bit later. The Associated Press calling Harris calls Trump's false claims about race the same old show of divisiveness and disrespect. We've got the Veterans for Trump trailer. Oh, Idaho farmers are protesting. We've got video on that. The Merry Christmas deal. Oh, and there's a thing about, this is interesting. MJ Truth Ultra. Did Tucker just find out who the creator of Bitcoin is? That's also been a big question for a long time. So we got a clip from Tucker. Oh, we got a little palate cleanser here. This is a beautiful little video I found. I'm a sucker for these two. A guy rescues some motherless parrots and feeds them, raises them, and then it's a beautiful little story. We got a video of Kamala Harris's family back in 2017 when she was being sworn in as a senator. We'll show you that. A flashback of Rush Limbaugh. Vivek Ramaswamy weighing in. This is a Rasmussen poll. President Trump has survived the Obama bounce. New data shows. We'll get into that. Roger Stone has an interesting tweet. Christian prophet Robin Bullock foresaw the assassination attempt on Trump in the Bible, in the story of 2 Kings Samuel 1 verses 15 through 16. So we got a clip on that we'll play. Okay, so let's get into the Mayor Johnson. This is a controversial, more pandering. See, they recognize, let's get into it. They recognize that Donald Trump is securing the black vote, and they're terrified of that. The black community is running in droves away from the Democrat Party, and it's a fact. Now, before we get to that, I do want to just do a pitch for our sponsor, Global Gold. Gold prices have surpassed $2,400 an ounce in 2024, reflecting a weakening U.S. dollar. As countries consider abandoning the OPEC agreement and U.S. dollar holdings, our national debt exceeds $36 trillion. Central banks are buying gold to protect their reserves, signaling average Americans to do the same. Protect your wealth with Global Gold Investments, America's leading conservative precious metals dealer. They offer a 5-year IRA fee waiver program on qualified rollovers and exceptional customer service. Call 888-700-4148 to receive your free portfolio analysis and the 2024 Insure Your Money Wealth Preservation Guide. Mention Next News, very important, and you'll get VIP treatment. Alternatively, you can visit IRAGoldproof.com in the link in the description to begin securing your financial future. Now let's get into the Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson. Trump ran into blackness, and he felt it. The masterpiece of a black woman. Only an amazing God could take an Indian and a Jamaican and create somebody in his image, a black woman. So I'm guessing this, basically the language here, I don't really have much context to it, but from what I can gather, this appears to be Brandon Johnson maybe speaking at a church. So let's see what our failed mayor of Chicago has to say here.
But he ran into blackness, and he felt it. But he ran into blackness, and he felt it. He felt the heat, the unconditional love, the masterpiece of the black woman that only an amazing God can take an Indian and a Jamaican and create somebody in his image, a black woman.
Wow. Okay. So,
But he
I mean, he is really invoking God's creation to rebrand Kamala Harris as a black woman. Now, let's dig into some of the reactions on this here. I don't know what I'm going to see, but we're going to find out. So we have Chiz. He called out fake blackness. It's amazing to me this guy is so openly racist when people put him in office. That was disgraceful for black women and journalists everywhere. Gotcha journalism is not accepted by the American people. That's what we witnessed last night. Gotcha journalism. And Trump, you go to our channel, you can watch the video, we just published it. Like a laser beam destroyed that journalist. Right out the gate, she was attacking Trump, and it was disgraceful. Trump called it like it is. American Papa Bear is on point here. And in fact, how about we just let American Papa Bear know that he is on point? So let's do a little reply here, huh? Shall we? Post your reply. You are on point. There we go. Now you can see me replying to tweets in real time. How do you like that? Here's an ad. Kamala didn't even go. That's right. Kamala wasn't even there. And they invited Trump under false pretenses to that black journalist event, saying that Kamala was going to be in attendance, but she didn't even show up. The best there is and ever will be Simp of the Year award goes to Mayor Johnson of Chicago. This guy with Kamala Harris is allowing the migrants to destroy the black community in Chicago. Check out the story on our channel we did yesterday featuring Terry Newsom and his investigation into what's happening in Chicago. The crime rate is out of control. It's outrageous. Make sure you watch that video. The race card is the only thing they have, says the true father. Simp. Wayment. What does that mean? Wayment. Indian plus Jamaican equals black because God is black? Okay. Good point here. Everyone is made in God's image. Amen. God never plays identity politics. God is not a respecter of persons. That is the opposite of identity politics. This is what the Bible says. Then Peter opened his mouth and said, of a truth, I perceive that God is no respecter of persons. This is the same guy that blamed Richard Nixon for gun violence in Chicago. Now, if you want to have a discussion,
he ran into black.
So where's the video? I'm going to bring it up here because it is related. Okay, so here is Joey Manorino. This is a video of Kamala's family back in 2017 when she's being sworn in as senator. And he asked the question, where did she hide these Indians since then? She hasn't shown them at a single event. Think about that. She's running. Why don't you bring your family on stage? She's rewriting history in front of her eyes. Share this far and wide. She definitely doesn't want you to see this.
Crew, Molly. I got quite a crew.
Well, great to see you. Do you guys know what the... Oh, I'm sorry.
Mattis is reading the three at heart, if anybody wants Mattis.
And then extended families if you don't.
Oh, no.
Okay, come on, everybody. Crew, come on, extended family. My extended family is here.
Hi, how are you? Nice to see you again. How are you? How are you, man? See if you can jump around the back.
Come on here, we will.
You've done this
Hey,
before.
man, good to see you. How are you? Nice to see you.
Molly. I got
Wow.
quite a crew.
Well, great
So
to
there it
see
is.
you.
There it is. Traditional Indian family. And where are they? They're not out in public campaigning with her because it would break the narrative that she's trying to present that Brandon Johnson is perpetuating at what appeared to be a black church. It is all smoke and mirrors. And speaking of Kamala Harris, let's see what the great Rush Limbaugh had to say.
Has fired. I have two stories about Kamala Harris. One's from The Spectator, and one is one of the oddball sports websites. The NBA has fired a freelance photographer because he insulted Kamala Harris. His name is Bill Baptiste. He's an independent contractor, had the deal terminated by the league after he posted a sexist Facebook post referencing Kamala Harris. He posted an image that read Joe and the Hoe, H-O-E. Now, what do you think that's about? Joe and the Hoe. Well, that takes me to the second story. They got rid of him, by the way. Wow. It's no secret, but public knowledge, that Kamala Harris slept her way up into California political life by being a very public escort and mattress for California Democrat kingmaker Willie Brown. Now, some people read this story. Mattress, didn't he mean mistress? No, I think they meant mattress here.
Wow.
I think Dove Fisher is the author of the story. So we have two different stories here that are trading off the known fact that she was Willie Brown's mattress.
I'm sick and tired of Americans concerning themselves with this so-called Indian lady running as a black president. We've moved on. It's a different world, different time. She's trans black.
What?
Start with Sir Moore.
Wow. She's trans black. Okay, let's take a look at Vivek Ramaswamy's take. He says here, it's just a fact, whether you like it or not, that many Indian Americans in the United States are indeed somewhat offended by the way Kamala has suddenly cast aside the Indian American side of her identity. Just like you don't see her Indian American family members on the campaign trail with her. Let's see what Vivek had to say about this.
Indian American population.
A chance to react to that. No doubt it's going to get attention. It already is.
Yeah, so look, on a very personal level, my parents were immigrants to this country, legal immigrants from southern India. Very same part of India that her mother also immigrated from. I think it's a hard fact, Martha, it's just a fact, whether you like it or not, that many Indian Americans in the United States are indeed somewhat offended by the way Kamala has suddenly cast aside the Indian American side of her identity. She leaned into it when she ran for office in California. Big Asian American and Indian American population. So she wore that when it was convenient. She's wearing a different identity now when it's politically convenient on a national stage. Personally, I don't think we should be relying on these ethnic identities at all. We're actually American. And the problem is when you're Kamala Harris and you actually do lean into your identity politics, then you open the door to that type of criticism. But if you ask me, that shouldn't be how this election is decided one way or another. It should be decided on our own identity as Americans and what our vision is for the future of the country. And the number one thing missing in Kamala Harris's candidacy is that she lacks that vision for the country. That's what we got to focus on.
A chance.
Great point. Great point.
React.
The fact that they are focusing on identity makes it fair game to criticize the truth about her identity. So if they want to call her black, okay, that's fine. But what does the truth say? What is her true identity? We disclosed last night that her own birth certificate says the father's race, this is what it says, the father's race is Jamaican, and the mother's race is Caucasian. So you try to figure that out. Let's see what we got here. Our next story, JD Vance versus a reporter. JD Vance had a heated exchange with a reporter who was asking about Trump's comments on Kamala Harris's racial identity. Here we go. Effectively shutting down what he perceived as race baiting. Let's go to the feed and see exactly what is being said here. Okay, here's the clip. This is Dom Lucier, breaker of narratives on X. JD Vance just humiliated a reporter that was race baiting him about Kamala Harris. Let's go.
He goes to Georgia too.
The former president's comments yesterday to the National Association of Black Journalists, where he said that Vice President Harris is, quote, all of a sudden black. As a father of 3 biracial children, did those comments give you pause at all?
They don't give me pause at all. Look, all he said is that Kamala Harris is a chameleon. She goes to Georgia 2 days ago. She was raised in Canada. She puts on a fake Southern accent. She is everything to everybody, and she pretends to be somebody different depending on which audience she's in front of. I think it's totally reasonable for the president to call that out, and that's all he did. I mean, look, she's running as a tough-on-crime prosecutor, even though she implemented open border policies. She's saying that she wants to support the police, yet she wanted to defund the police just 3 years ago. It's totally reasonable to call out the fact that she pretends to be somebody different depending on the audience she's talking to.
The former president's comments yesterday to the National Association of Black Journalists, where he said
it's fair game.
President's
It's fair game. The president simply just pointing out what everybody knows. The facts have all been laid out. We know the truth. But of course, the mainstream media is going to try to attack Vance on these topics, attack the president on these topics when they're simply speaking the truth to the American people. The reporter asked the former president's comments at the National Association of Black Journalists is all of it saying Kamala is all of a sudden black. It's because, she, like he said, leaning into wherever audience she's speaking in front of. And as Vivek Ramaswamy so poignantly stated, we do not need to focus on these things. It should really just be about merit, not pandering to a specific group of people. Bottom line, that's where it should stand. Do your policies hold water? Are they successful? That's what we should be focusing on. Again, not the color of someone's skin, but because the Democrats have fallen so far down the rabbit hole of identity politics, that's all they have to lean on. And they desperately are trying to divide the American people along identity lines, because when you divide the American people, you can conquer them. Yes, you know that. Let's get the reactions here from Trump and Vance are right. Kamala and Joe are both fly-by-night, whatever they need to be to get the most votes. Merch says she isn't black, she's Indian. No show at the Black Journals event. Trump answered honestly. Got to give him props. Her, not so much. Okay, so I'm a little hesitant to see what this woman has to say. You never quite know, but this is live, so let's play it out.
Before I start this interview, I'm going to ask y'all to, forgive my language in advance. Because I'm going to say some stuff on here that I don't use to sell my videos. So those of y'all who have sensitive ears, keep swiping. Let this be one of my videos that you swipe on by. Because, listen, playtime.
Okay, before we get to that, I should give a quick shout out to our gold sponsor, because gold prices have surpassed $2,400 an ounce in 2024, reflecting a weakening U.S. dollar. As countries consider abandoning the OPEC agreement and U.S. dollar holdings, our national debt exceeds $36 trillion. Central banks are buying gold to protect their reserves, signaling average Americans to do the same. Protect your wealth with global gold investments. America's leading conservative precious metals dealer. They offer a 5-year IRA fee waiver program on qualified rollovers and exceptional customer service. Call 888-700-4148 today to receive a free portfolio analysis and the 2024 Insure Your Money Wealth Preservation Guide. Mention Next News for VIP treatment. Alternatively, visit IRAGoldproof.com, linked below, to begin securing your financial future. Now, let's see what this woman had to say. I'm a little nervous to press play here, but if you got small kids in the room, maybe get them out of the room. I don't know what's going to happen here.
It's over and the gloves are off. Now listen, first I want to say thank you to my Chi-Town sister who, let me know that Trump was going to be in Chicago doing the interview. Now let me say this. This was the most disrespectful interview I think I've ever seen. First of he went to this in the lion's den. Because this was some straight up bullshit. This girl was so disrespectful. It's ridiculous. The whole fucking panel was disrespectful, but it was so disrespectful. It was ridiculous. First of all, Kamala Harris didn't even show up. Kamala Harris didn't even show up because she don't feel like she needs to show up because she already knows she got the black votes lined up in Chicago and she don't have no respect for the black people. And let's not forget, she chicken shit. She complete chicken shit because she been saying she wanted to debate Trump, and this would have been the best time for her to be on stage with Trump and say whatever she wanted to say to him. But of course, she didn't even show up. The doggone interviewers, they were 35 minutes late because they had no respect for Trump either. But Trump, kudos to you for going into this bull crap. Now, this interviewer didn't even start the interview off by saying hello, President Trump, or hello, former President Trump, or hello, Trump. She didn't even speak to him. She just went straight into the text. And I'm going to tell y'all something. I don't like Kamala Harris at all. Period. Y'all know I don't like Kamala Harris. But she is the VP of the United States of America. And then if I had a conversation with her, if I had an interview with her, the first thing I would do before I even started any question would say, hello, VP Harris, how you doing? That's the least respect you can give to anybody. But these disrespectful tricks, they have any respect for Trump. All they did was come out with attacks from the beginning. From the fucking beginning, that's all they came out with. Now, this dumbass trick gonna have the nerve to say to Trump, tell me why should black people support you? With your rhetoric and all this and all that, and why should black people support you? You lied about Obama, you lied about Nikki Haley, and let me tell y'all something. That's what a lot of the black community mad at Trump about, because Trump questioned Obama citizenship in the United States of America, and you cannot question King Obama, because black folks will have a fit. That's what a lot of them are upset with Trump about. Because you can't question their God. And a lot of black people, their God is Obama. Y'all get mad at me all y'all want. It is what it is. I said what I said, and I meant what the fuck I said. Yep, I said it. But let me tell y'all this right here. So she comes at Trump with all this old bull crap. So, of course, Trump said, well, I've done a lot of stuff for the black community. He said the same thing he always said. I've done more for the black community than anybody except for Abraham Lincoln. Then this dumb, supposed to be educated ass trick had the audacity to say with her brainwashed, brain-dead, simple-minded ass. So you telling me you done more for the black community than Lyndon B. Johnson, who passed the Voter Rights Act? This has got to be the dumbest bitch I ever heard in my life. And I heard of...
Okay. I think you get the point. Oh my goodness. She's letting it rip. I'm not sure where this was actually posted, but so far on X, 38,000 views. JD is correct. Oh, hey, look at this. She was so focused on being Indian, she never mentioned she's black during her senatorial tenure. What's this?
We'll continue to do it. I mean, what we know, the Democratic Party for a very long time, not just this election cycle, has been doing a lot of active outreach around South Asians, around the API in general, and we'll continue to do it. I mean, what we know in particular when you're talking about the South Asian community, we're talking about the Indian community more specifically, it is a growing community in the United States in terms of its voting bloc, in terms of its participation, and I think the party knows that and knows that this is part of our collective community, and there needs to be outreach and inclusion.
And certainly you could become the first Indian senator in U.S. history, which would be quite an accomplishment.
Not good.
Oh, wow.
You could become the first Indian senator in U.S. history, which would be quite an accomplishment.
It pains me that this is the topic that we're focusing on. I wish we could talk about policy. I wish we could talk about things that really have substance. But focusing on identity, I mean, who does it really serve? Why do we have to divide the country up in this manner? Unreal. So JD cooked with this interview. Don't fall for the lies and propaganda of Kamala Harris, Democrat politicians, and the mainstream media. Trump is the best president for the United States of America in such a time as we are witnessing today. For your country's future, Trump is the only option. So I will leave you with that. Moving on to Kevin O'Leary's warning. Shark Tank's O'Leary cautioned that if Kamala Harris is elected, America could become like Canada, expressing concerns about her potential leadership. Let's go and track that down and see. Okay, so here it is. This is Colin Rugg posting. Shark Tank's Kevin O'Leary warns that America will turn into Canada if Kamala Harris is elected. Then he says that some of his Democrat donor friends are having buyer's remorse. O'Leary warned about what could happen when someone with no skills gets into power. No skills. Now, check this out. Are you listening? As summer approaches, AC bills are reaching record highs with 20 million households behind on power bills. Power companies show no signs of lowering prices despite the strain on consumers. Slash your AC bills with this innovative mini AC unit that cools any room in minutes. It's portable, perfect for home, office, or camping, and provides up to 25 hours of cold air. This device could be a lifesaver during heat waves and blackouts. The cost savings in the first month make it pay for itself. Visit EasySummerCool.com or click the link in the description for up to 60% off today. Enjoy a 60-day risk-free guarantee and fast USA shipping. Now, let's get back to what Kevin O'Leary had to say. Let's see. This was on Jesse Waters' program.
Debt for real estate. When we syndicate debt for real estate projects, we don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. So I deal with a lot of investors agnostic to politics, and some of them are very big contributors to the Democratic Party. I heard for the first time today, because we like to talk about politics, mostly on policy, and what he said to me was, some of us are having some buyer's remorse. We'd wish we'd run a process because we got so much press in the first 9 days of bringing somebody into the party and raised 200 million plus, which is like a balloon underwater. It just wasn't Biden, so they started contributing. But we gave up 5 weeks of fantastic social media in guessing who really should be the candidate. Now, I hadn't heard that before. It's not that many. I'd guess 20% or something like that. But so that's starting to crack a little bit. And there is precedence for what's going on here. I ask everybody to look north to Canada. When a young Justin Trudeau swept in, nobody cared about his executional skills or what he'd ever done or anything. They just thought he was the it guy. Look at the country now. It's wiped out. And because it turns out the guy had no executional skills. It would be important to leave aside the politics and ask, what has Kamala Harris actually done, actually achieved? Because if I was hiring her, and I'm not trying to be partisan, I would ask her, what was a goal? What did you achieve? Because any governor or any senator that would put into presidential viability would have a history, a track record of doing stuff.
What do you think she would say, Kevin, if you asked her in an interview straight up, Kamala, what's your biggest accomplishment? What would she say?
I don't know, because I don't know of one, but I can tell you this. In the next 2 weeks, the happy talk is going to have to stop, because someone's going to sit her down and say, let's talk inflation. Let's talk border. Let's talk policy on energy. Let's talk policy on foreign affairs. And if she doesn't deliver on that with the new vision towards the center, the guy that said, I wish we'd run a process is going to be right. If she wants to win, she's got to go to the center, but she's got to have some ideas on how to run the country. You might hate Trump, but he has this track record of policy. You might hate him. I get it. But, you got to do something.
No tax on tips, border wall, tax reductions, stop the wars. I mean, you can nail it. I don't know what she wants. I just know she wants the power.
Yep.
Kevin O'Leary, you're right, though. That would have been the greatest American Idol audition this country's ever seen, and they just handed it to her, and now look what happened.
Wow. Oh, man, remember this? Oof. Wow. So what has she achieved? If you're watching last night, you saw us play a clip of all these Kamala Harris voters in an event, and they could not even point to any accomplishments of Kamala Harris. Because if you had policy success, wouldn't you be promoting that? Wouldn't that be in your talking points? Your ads? I have yet to hear any actual policy success that she's had. All I can point to is what it looks like when I go to the gas station, the grocery store, going out to dinner. I mean, the prices speak for themselves. The past 3.5 years have been a disaster. And not to mention the disaster at the border. The other day, we played an ad for Kamala Harris's new border hawk policy, trying to contrast her with Donald Trump, trying to say she's tough on the border. But then we see the media come out and suddenly parroting all these talking points that she's never been the border czar. When for years, that's exactly what the media labeled her. They are retconning Kamala Harris's past right before our very eyes. So stay awake, stay engaged, and make sure that you tell your friends and your family to watch out for the propaganda that's coming out of this White House, coming out of this administration, or this campaign. The truth's out there, my friends, and we're going to keep digging it up. Okay, what else have we got? Speaking of digging it up. Oh, this is good. This is good. Checking in with the chat room. What's up, guys? I want to say hello to everyone tuning in. Let's see who is in the house here. Okay. Ooh, Scott Edwards. She's tough on keeping the border open. Someone is saying, Gary 2024. Let's go, Brandon. Border Hawk Tua. Oof. Successful policies? GWTV. 0 successful policies. I'd love to do an outdoor range. Did Biden? Loki asking the question. Did Biden cure cancer yet? No, I don't think so. What have you done for the U.S. lately? Lousy border czar. Well, they have to import the votes somehow. Cackles achieved. Ooh. Oh, man. That's I'm not even going to repeat that, but you can see what it says there. Oh, wow. You guys are on fire in the chat room. That's right. She's drunk on power. They all are. That's what they want. It comes down to control. That's what's terrifying. Okay. Okay, so speaking of Kamala Harris's past, this is what we've got next. A photograph has surfaced showing a 29-year-old Harris kissing then-married Willie Brown at a political function. Kissing a married man. Is that appropriate? I don't think so. Let's see if we can track that down, shall we? This is pretty nasty stuff here. I know I bookmarked it here. Oh, there it is. There it is. You see it? This is from Laura Loomer. She says, I have obtained another photo of Kamala Harris at 29 years old, kissing then-married Willie Brown, who's 60, at one of Brown's political functions. This is from November 8th, 1995 edition of the San Luis Obispo County Telegram Tribune. There she is. Oh, boy. I mean, what about, you guys have seen the Montel Williams picture? You know what I'm talking about, right? Ooh. Let's see. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris Montel. Oh, boy. Here we go. Oh, there's even video. Oh, boy. If you think world leaders are laughing now, TV personality Montel Williams openly flaunted his polyamorous relationship with Kamala Harris and their partner in 2001. So this was some 6 years after that photo was published of her. But in case he makes it a point, he says 5 years after Kamala's scandalous affair with San Francisco's 61-year-old mayor Willie Brown. You don't suddenly acquire morals if you never had them in the first place, and this is what we get as President of the United States if Democrats have their way.
Her to the before she met Doug Emhoff, she dated some prominent men, including in 2001 former talk show host Montel Williams. Back then, he was the famous one and had to introduce her to the paparazzi. Before she met,
How would you educate your 5-year-old?
Doug Emhoff, she dated.
So there she is. I mean, she has just been climbing the social ladder, political ladder, for her entire career. And now she is about to, I don't even want to say it, challenge Donald Trump. She's aspiring to be the President of the United States. Whew. Terrifying. Terrifying reality we're facing here. Okay, so there's actually a lot here with respect to viral videos that are going on about Kamala. Let's see, what is this about here?
To federally
The vice president has still failed to acknowledge that it was wrong to take the position that he took at that time.
Vice President Biden says that your current position on busing, you're opposed to federally mandated busing, that position is the same as his position. Is he right?
That is simply false. And let's be very clear about this. When Vice President Biden was in the United States Senate working with segregationists to oppose busing, which was the vehicle by which we would integrate America's public schools, had I been in the United States Senate at that time, I would have been completely on the other side of the aisle. And let's be clear about this. Had those segregationists their way, I would not be a member of the United States Senate, Cory Booker would not be a member of the United States Senate, and Barack Obama would not have been in a position to nominate him to the title he now holds. Wow. And so on that issue, we could not be more apart, which is that the vice president has still failed to acknowledge that it was wrong to take the position that he took at that time.
When Senator Harris was the Attorney General for 8 years in the state of California, there were 2 of the most segregated school districts in the country, in Los Angeles and in San Francisco. And she did not, like, I didn't see a single solitary time she brought a case against them to desegregate them. Secondly, she also was in a situation where she had a police department when she was there that, in fact, was abusing people's rights. And the fact was that she, in fact, was told by her own people, that her own staff, that she should do something about and disclose to defense attorneys like me that you, in fact, have been, the police officer did something that did not give you information that would exculpate your client. She didn't do that. She never did it. And so what happened? Along came a federal judge and said, enough, enough, and he freed 1,000 of these people. If you doubt me, Google 1,000 prisoners freed, Kamala Harris.
Okay, I don't know what that is, but before we continue on this topic, I do want to give a shout out to the people that make this show possible here. Energy bills continue to hit record highs with 20 million households behind on payments. Power companies have $13 million in uncollected bills, yet show no signs of lowering costs. Beat the greedy utility companies with this amazing device. It plugs in to your wall outlet. It stops unnecessary energy waste, reduces electricity usage, extends appliance lifespan, and ensures consistent, safe power flow to your home. Visit don'twastepower.com to get a 60-day risk-free trial, 65% off, and free shipping. Additional free bonuses included with every purchase while supplies last. Order now at don'twastepower.com. Start saving on your energy bills today. Now, we're going to continue digging deeper into Kamala Harris and her past. It's just unreal. Since we're here and we're talking about this, I do want to bring up what we noticed. This is the poll. This is the poll that is really concerning. Now, just 2 hours ago, Colin Rogue posted that VP Kamala Harris odds to win the 2024 election have hit an all-time high on Polymarket. According to Polymarket, Harris currently has a 45% chance of winning the election compared to Trump at 54%. And here's where things get interesting. The prediction platform has Trump winning the toss-up states of Nevada, Arizona, Georgia, and North Carolina. It has Harris in the lead in Pennsylvania. Right now, Trump is at 268 electoral votes. He needs 270 to win, meaning he would need to pick up Wisconsin or Michigan to win the election according to that platform. And here is the representation. This is Polymarket. This must be, from what I can gather, let's see. Okay, so this is a timeline. Look at that. Look at that dip. Look at that dip right there. Right before, what was that? Let's take this a little slower here. So let's see, we're at, okay, so July 15th, this is right after the assassination attempt. Kamala Harris had a 6% chance of winning. And then on what appears to be the 17th, it starts to go up significantly. 20th, climbing. 35, 40%. July 29th, 39%. Keeps climbing. To now a 45% chance of winning. This is concerning because this is reflective of all the astroturfing that we've been talking about. The Act Blue scandal, the paid influencer scandal, hosting rallies with Megan Thee Stallion when everyone shows up to see the performance, and then they leave when the performance is over. Now, at least with respect to this, it was a 54 to 45% chance. But according to this specific poll, 268 electoral votes. So Wisconsin and Michigan are strongly in play. Wisconsin and Michigan. And that's where Trump has been campaigning pretty hard lately. Holy cow. So we're going to continue to monitor all this, bring you the latest as it happens. You're watching the Next News Network. Okay, now we've got another story here. We've got Kamala Harris's Christmas controversy. An unearthed clip shows Harris criticizing the use of the word Merry Christmas, citing concerns about inclusivity for illegal immigrants. Well, is that so? Okay, so this is Kyle Becker posting this an hour ago. Kamala Harris told illegal aliens not to say Merry Christmas until they got mass amnesty. Let's take a look at this here.
Wish each other Merry Christmas. And when we all sing happy tunes and sing Merry Christmas and wish each other Merry Christmas, these children are not going to have a Merry Christmas. How dare we speak Merry Christmas?
What?
How dare we? And
My
when
goodness.
we all sing
Wow.
happy tunes and sing Merry Christmas and wish each other Merry Christmas, these children are not going to have a Merry Christmas.
Wow.
How dare we speak Merry Christmas? How dare we? And when
Unbelievable. Wow. Now check this out. As long as I've got your attention, I want to make sure you're listening here. Because recent reports show that drivers with dash cams are 60% less likely to be found at fault in traffic accidents, saving time and money on legal battles. This easy-to-install dash cam records every detail on the road, offering collision documentation, 24/7 security, and memorable drive capture, featuring 4K Ultra HD night vision, 24/7 motion detection, and loop recording. It's a must-have for enhanced road safety. Drive with more confidence and peace of mind. Visit carvisionx.com to get free express shipping and several bonuses with every order during their summer special. Don't miss out on this opportunity to increase your safety and security on the road. Juanita Broderick posting here that Kamala's out of her element. I'm not sure what this is about. Let's see.
Thank you all. Madam President, will you be meeting Evan and Paul when they return?
Oh yeah, this was the controversy about her. Oh yeah. Yeah, see, that was one of like the social media AstroTurf posts. We're gonna play that trailer in a moment here. How dare we say?
Dare we speak? And when we all sing happy tunes and sing Merry Christmas and wish each other Merry Christmas, these children are not going to have a Merry Christmas. How dare we speak Merry Christmas?
What? It's a greeting. It's a good wish upon somebody. Have a Merry Christmas. End wokeness. Kamala is far left and just plain weird. That's the new buzzword that everyone's saying. That JD Vance is weird. Well, have you seen some of the left? The folks on the left are just plain weird. Let's see what else we have got here. Okay, since we're talking about polling information, let's take a look at this is from Jane Zirkle, posting, President Trump has survived the Obama bounce, according to new data. This is from Real America's Voice.
These is like, I can go into the demographics, but I have a really important chart. I'd love for Denver to put up chart 2, which shows what I call the Obama bounce. Now, what Trump has basically done is survived a coordinated info op to try and paint Kamala Harris as super likable, super competent, a lot of coordinated media attention, a lot of coordinated attacks at Donald Trump and JD Vance. But if you look at, here's every night of polling we put out, you could kind of consider each of these as like mini polls. And the first set we put out with Trump up 7 was based on the 22nd through the 24th. You can actually see people's opinions forming in real time. They were caught off guard. They really had no idea what was happening. And Trump took a night 16-point lead over Kamala Harris. Next night, it was down to 6. And if we had done a poll on the 24th and 25th, we actually would have showed Donald Trump losing slightly to Kamala Harris. Now, that's right about the time she got the Obama endorsement. But since then, what you can see is Donald Trump has steadily clawed that lead back, and he's up 4 points on the 30th, 5 points on the 31st. And I think what you're seeing there on the chart is literally her bounce fading and Donald Trump settling back into what's probably a 4 to 5 point lead right now. And we're going to continue to pull this to keep tracking it. But that is comfortably outside the margin of error, in line where other good pollsters have him. I think we're polling pretty close to Harvard-Harris right now, and that's pretty much the best they can do. I think it's all downhill for them from here on out. Of course, she'll get a lot of positive coverage during the DNC. Who knows what's going to happen there? But to me, the headline is Trump is winning comfortably. And before all of this happened, in polls that had him winning comfortably, he was winning in every single swing state. So it's Trump's race right now, in my opinion.
Oh, good. That's good news.
Hello,
Oh, no, what's
Americans.
The demographics, but I have a really important chart. I'd love for Denver to put up
Kamala
chart 2.
Oh, my. Yeah. Are they barking? This is just what I was talking about. Oh, no, I don't want to see that. So, there you have it. Merry Christmas greetings. New polling information. It's good news all around, to say the least. So, these videos are going to continue to surface. The photos of her are going to continue to surface. And she's going to try to rewrite history in the press. She's going to try to astroturf her way into the Oval Office. But it's really up to people like you and me to make real change happen by pushing back against these narratives when they show up. So if you're not following us on X yet, if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, please do so and share our work as we continue to break down and push back against all these narratives. Okay, let's play the Veterans for Trump. This is a new thing. And I do want to watch this Roger Stone video he posted about this Christian prophet. But I also want to get this trailer. Oh, you know what? I would play this, but the music is going to cause a problem. So it's just cute. This is a guy he finds these parrots. He finds these parrots and he raises them. Look at that. I mean, how cool would it be to have like a whole bunch of parrots? Look at, they're just like all chilling. Wow. Giving them all bedtime kisses or something. Look at that. How cool would that be? Such beautiful birds. This is a little palate cleanser for you guys. Look at that. How beautiful. Wow. Guy rescues motherless parrots, creating a lifelong love affair. That's beautiful. Okay. Now, we've got this Tucker Carlson clip. I want to get into that. But let's get the... Where is the... Okay, so here it is. Veterans for America First. Film is coming out on 9/1 of 2024. VFAF Veterans for Trump, the movement, available for streaming on vfaf.us and available nationwide for free screenings to help get the vote out for Donald Trump. So let's watch this together.
Early 2016, I was asked by then candidate Donald Trump to become one of his national security policy advisors. And it was at that time that I was also introduced to a grassroots organization called Veterans for Trump.
Among all other demographics in this country, it will be the veterans that can sway the vote. We're good leaders, we're good organizers.
Our primary mission at Veterans for America First, our grassroots mission, is to get President Trump reelected for the third time.
Donald Trump wins the presidency.
And the black community, we loved him.
President Trump has been fantastic to veterans across the nation.
Sandy and Donna Fitzgerald, thank you very much.
The 2020 election was stolen, and we all know it.
Joseph R. Biden Jr. is elected the 46th president of the United States.
America is failing under the Biden regime.
A lot of the policies that come from the left just lead into lawlessness.
An illegal immigrant charged with the murder of a 22-year-old Georgia nursing student, Laken Riley.
Crime continues to surge in big cities across the country.
Inflation remains a near 40-year high.
Woke stuff is like a religion.
Biden proclaims Easter Sunday as Trans Day of Visibility.
The leftists have nearly completely captured our classrooms. All of them.
The careless and dangerous political agendas that aim to target and influence our kids needs to end.
I believe that we are on the brink of this nation falling apart.
President Trump is coming for the deep state to hold these bastards accountable.
You know, so most people don't remember what they had for breakfast yesterday, but most people remember their wallet and how it was under Donald Trump, because you had more spending money. Your dollar was worth more.
And President Trump, back in Commander-in-Chief, I would go back to re-enlist today.
When President Trump came down that escalator in 2015, he declared war on the establishment. He declared war on the radical left. And those of us who've enlisted to help him, we are veterans fighting this battle to save America.
You do not have to be a military veteran to be involved in this movement.
Fight, fight, fight.
You should go to TrumpForce47.com and register to support President Trump.
This political regime has made us look weak on a national stage, and therefore that puts a target on our back, and none of us are safe.
In the end, they're not coming after me, they're coming after you, and I'm just standing in their way.
Wow.
Early 20.
So for that, go to veterans for vfaf.us, and you will be able to stream that September 1st. I'm glad to be a part of that project. In fact, my hat's off to Stan Fitzgerald for reaching out to me. I met him in Georgia at I almost said Kamala Harris, at a Marjorie Taylor Greene event, and it was great. And we've been friends ever since. And I met him again when we were in another event. So make sure you support their work by going to vfaf.us. A lot of great patriots are in this project, and it's all designed to help get out the vote for Trump. So we need to support them. Make sure you do. Let's go and play. Let's see what we got here. There's another clip here. There's something happening in Idaho. Idaho farmers protesting the U.S. government shutting off water to their farmland. The water curtailment affects over 500,000 acres. And you can see them all taking... So, look at this. If you remember the farmers protesting in Europe, that was huge. So this could actually turn into something similar. We'll have to wait and see what actually happens there. Let's see if there's any commentary updates. Stand with the farmers. They need to start dumping bull manure out all over everything like the farmers did in Europe that made a statement. Yeah. So there's that. Let's take a look to this. I really wanted to see this about the creator of Bitcoin. Do you guys track Bitcoin, crypto? MJ Truth Ultra posted this 9 hours ago. Did Tucker just find out who the creator of Bitcoin was? At the Bitcoin conference, Tucker suggested the CIA created Bitcoin. Until you can tell me who Satoshi Nakamoto was, I have questions. Satoshi has hundreds of billions of dollars in Bitcoin, which has not been cashed out. His guest believes that he knows who Satoshi is, a man named Paul LeRoux. LeRoux is a former programmer, former criminal cartel boss, and informant to the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration. In Manila, he controlled much of the city and paid off all the authorities. He generated so much cash he didn't know what to do with it or where to store it, so it's assumed he was building Bitcoin to store the cash. His nickname is S.L. Atashi. Around the same time Satoshi disappeared, LeRoux went to prison and is now being held in the United States. He was arrested on September 26, 2012 for conspiracy to import narcotics to the United States and agreed to cooperate with authorities in exchange for a lesser sentence and immunity to any crimes he might admit to later. They state here that he created encryption for the masses, EM4, which Snowden is speculated to use as part of his hack. So let's see what is being disclosed on Tucker's show here.
You were at the Bitcoin conference
Yes.
recently, and you told them CIA started Bitcoin. They got really angry on Twitter. But
I don't know that,
Yeah, I'm
but
just
until
kidding.
you can tell me who Satoshi was, I have some questions.
What? Actually, I have a feeling about who Satoshi was, but that's a separate conversation.
No, it's not. Let's just stop right now because I'll never forget to ask you again. Who is Satoshi?
There's a guy. His name is Paul LaRue.
By the way, for those watching who don't know who Satoshi was, Satoshi is the pseudonym that we use for the person who created Bitcoin, but we don't know.
And it's amazing, it's this thing that was created. We don't know who created it. He never moved the money, I don't think. Maybe there was some activity here and there, but like there's like billions, hundreds of billions of dollars locked in. So we don't know who the person is. They're not cashing out. And it's like pretty crazy story, right?
That's amazing. So Paul LaRue.
Yeah, Paul LaRue was crypto hacker in Rhodesia before Zimbabwe, and he created something called encryption for the masses, EM4, and was one of the early. By the way, I think Snowden used EM4 as part of his hack. So he was one of the people that really made it so that cryptography is accessible to more people. However, he did become a criminal. He became a criminal mastermind in Manila. He was really controlling the city almost. He paid off all the cops and everything. He was making so much money from so much criminal activity. His nickname was Sletoshi with an L. And so there's like a lot of, circumstantial evidence. There's no cutthroat evidence, but I just have a feeling that he generated so much cash. He didn't know what to do with it, where to store it. And on the side, he was building Bitcoin to be able to store all that cash. And around the same time that Satoshi disappeared, he went to jail. He got booked for all the crime he did. He recently got sentenced to 25 years of prison. I think the judge asked him, like, what would you do if you would go out? And he's like, I would build an ASIC chip to mine Bitcoin. And so look, this is a strong opinion, loosely held, but it's just like
So he is currently in prison.
He's currently in prison. Yeah.
In this country or the Philippines?
I think this country. Because he was doing all the crime here. He was selling drugs online, essentially.
We should go see him in jail.
Yeah, to check out his story.
Wow. I'm sorry. I just had to get that out of you. So
you were at the Bitcoin conference recently, and you told them
Wow.
CIA started.
There's a lot of mystery surrounding who created Bitcoin. This is another post regarding the same topic.
No. Anyway, crypto people aren't just in it to make a buck. They're in it to change the world forever. These are not shallow people. These are people who can answer every single question except who was Satoshi, which they don't answer. Someone should answer that. Nope. I think we know. Anyway, in fact, I have a friend who's probably sitting here who told me he did know, but I don't believe him. And I don't care if it was the CIA. It doesn't matter. The idea is still a great idea. Obviously, it was the CIA. I think we all know that. It's like Signal. They got there first. It's a honey trap. Crypto people
Wow, it's like Signal. Joe says Bitcoin was created for the deep state. We're getting to the point where nothing really will shock me anymore. Bitcoin is the CBDC. Trump has stated he's totally against the CBDC. Central bank digital currency. Bad David, it doesn't matter who Satoshi is because it's not centrally controlled by any entity. This is what makes Bitcoin so valuable and important. Even if he decided to dump his 1.2 million coins, it wouldn't change the protocol and only temporarily dump its fiat price. Wow. Let's see here. Okay, that's pretty cool. I want to play. This is what Roger Stone posted just 5 hours ago. Christian prophet Robert Bullock foresaw the assassination attempt of Donald Trump in the Bible in the story of 2 Kings Samuel 1 verses 15 through 16. So let's I want to see
He's the
this.
king. Saul's kingdom was broken into two parts. One where he had a mind and one where he lost it. And his presidential seal fell off his podium. But a David was brought on the scene. What nobody realized, they stepped into a time of two kings. It's just like during the time of two kings, Saul went to see a witch. Well, during the time of two kings, a witch comes on Fox and throws out tarot cards. Saul's standing there with his javelin in his hand, and he throws it at David. And David just moved. Saul neglects his borders. He spends all of his effort and all of his time trying to destroy David. Anything that threatened Israel, David was on the scene because David was the king. He's consulted by everybody. He ends up leading the army. He ends up leading everything, but yet he has no crown.
Wow. Wow. Let's see the reaction on this. Roger usually gets a lot of troll posts. But he didn't die. I'm a believer in biblical prophecy, but I don't think this refers to Trump. There are no prophets now. This time is past. I disagree. There are no prophets these days. Again, I disagree with that. I mean, what about the prophecy of the assassination itself? Okay. Trump assassination prophecy. So this was posted the day after Trump, the attempted assassination of Trump. But this was posted 4 months ago.
He fell to his knees all throughout America, all throughout, and I saw Trump rising up, and then I saw an attempt on his life. This bullet flew by his ear, and it came so close to his head that it busted his eardrum. And I saw he fell to his knees during this time frame, and he started worshiping the Lord. He got radically born again during this time frame. I'm talking, people say he's saved now, but he becomes really on fire for Jesus, for what I saw coming. And then I saw people interceding when I saw him winning the presidency through great. The Lord showed me it would go clear into the summer. Great persecution would come on him through the judges and through the law and all these people trying to sue him and all this stuff. But there would be a stop to it, and there things would start to break free come toward the fall. And then I saw him winning the election through the patriots coming out and voting, and all throughout.
We can only hope that this prophecy comes true. I mean, the fact that he was so dead on with the first part of that prophecy. Now, we did a whole story on this, and if you watch the full clip of everything that this man prophesies about, he talks about the ear, he talks about Trump winning, but he also talks about an economic collapse that follows. Now, I think we were talking with Mr. Reagan, or I was talking with somebody about if they wanted to affect the campaign or they want to affect the presidency, then all they have to do is tank the economy and blame it on Trump to make his life even harder. But as soon as Trump gets into office, you know that they're gonna pull out all the stops, and they're gonna work overtime. They're gonna probably try to impeach him right away. Now, hopefully, we can hold that small lead that we have in Congress. And we need to hold that lead. If we can get the Senate on our side too, then perhaps we can hold these people back. And the only problem is, of course, is the Speaker of the House. Like we saw with Paul Ryan during the first part of the Trump administration, Paul Ryan was just a roadblock. Paul Ryan working for the establishment as a roadblock for Trump's policies. So imagine if he had a favorable House Speaker, he had a majority in the House, and a majority in the Senate. We could really have a renaissance take place in this country. Think about the prosperity that we would have. So this was just amazing when I saw this. I could not believe it, but you know, there are prophets. People say there's no prophets these days, but I believe there are. I really do. Let's check in with the feed itself and see exactly what is going on. Let's see. Get to the beginning of the feed. Ew. Doctors remove a 2-foot-long eel out of a man after he put it in himself? What? That's nasty. This is just all over the place. Then you have this this event that took place at the Olympics. Unreal. Is this Alex's son? Rex getting... He's in the Orthodox Church. No kidding. I did not know. There's Alex's son. What a beast. Wow. That's awesome. Where's Alex? Is he in this? I don't see Alex. Yeah. Yeah. He's fighting the globalists. What do we got here? Soundtrack for the next 95 days? No. Oof. Kamala Harris aides blew the whistle on her lavish spending from campaign finance accounts to fund a life of luxury. Oh, wow. What's this? Top Kamala VP contender Tim Walz says he should invest in a ladder factory to help illegal aliens. What?
Wall. I think seeing a plan that's out there, talking about it with folks, knowing that he's not going to do anything. He talks about this wall. I always say, let me know how high it is. If it's 25 feet, then I'll invest in the 30-foot ladder factory. That's not how you stop this. And I think seeing a plan that's out.
RNC Research is a great post. I have my notifications turned on. Yeah, see, I have them on. Michigan auto workers. To endorse Kamala Harris is sheer lunacy. Let's see what's going on here.
NAFTA.
This looks like
to endorse
local
Kamala
news.
Harris is sheer lunacy. How can you not endorse the guy who ripped up NAFTA and rewrote the trade agreement so that it was to the advantage of American workers?
Brian Panebecker started the group Auto Workers for Trump in 2017 and says the group has only grown, attracting thousands of workers like Chris Vitale, a UAW member for 30 years who once voted for Obama.
These are the choices we have, and I'll damn sure take a guy that's built things and has stuck up and defended for the American worker over a San Francisco prosecutor.
As a United States Senator, I was proud to co-sponsor, and then as Vice President, it was my honor, with the President, as a United...
RNC Research, Donald Trump Jr. getting reposted by them. Let's see what Donald Trump Jr. is saying. JD Vance slaughtered the fake news. I don't have Truth Social on this specific phone, so maybe what I'll do next time is I'll get it. I'll install it. But there is actually a Twitter account. Donald Trump posts Truth Social. You can see what Donald Trump is posting right now. Let's see. People? No. We don't want to do that. Wait.
Out there talking.
Donald Trump post from his Truth Social. Okay, let's take a look here. An hour ago, U.S. Representative David Kustoff wins. Marsha Blackburn wins. Chuck Fleischman wins. Brian Kelly releasing a new song. Okay, 2 hours ago, there's never been anything like the MAGA movement. We raised $139 million in July alone. We now have a whopping $327 million cash on hand. Spectacular support from great American patriots who are donating to our campaign. Then he's questioning the recent prisoner swap with Russia. How many people do we get versus them? Are we also paying them cash? 9 hours ago, no tax on Social Security for seniors. Thank you, John Creamy, a great concrete contractor. Look at that truck. How cool is that? That's awesome. Donald Trump, Truth Social, 7 hours ago. Meet the real Kamala. Total failure as border czar. Supports defunding the police. Wants to make illegals into voting citizens. Ranked more liberal than Bernie Sanders. Tie-breaking vote on huge spending bills. Said terrorists should vote. Oh, there's more. Wants to limit red meat consumption. Raise money to bail rioters out of jail. Co-sponsored Green New Deal. Wants to ban private health insurance. Compared ICE agents to the KKK. Wants to ban fracking. Lied to the public about Biden's decline. Will ban gas-powered cars. Will shut down Keystone XL on day one. Wow. He posts this picture of Kamala. Thank you, Kamala, for the nice picture you sent from many years ago. Your warmth, friendship, and love of your Indian heritage are very much appreciated 13 hours ago. And then you have this picture. Wow. Yeah, it's funny you don't see her campaigning with her family because they got to keep the narrative going. Donald Trump, 12 hours ago. So sad Nora O'Donnell of CBS News lost her show. They had Nora at a steal at $12 million a year. Will she be doing Deface the Nation anymore? Where she was so wonderful? Was she better than the late, great Walter Cronkite, also of CBS News? Wow. ABC, fake news, one of the worst in America. Vote for Donald Trump this November to ensure an economic miracle. That's where we are, folks. Let's check in with the chat room, see how you guys are holding up. It's good to see everybody here tonight. Thanks for joining us on this sort of a loose, structured show today. True World's in the house. Arnold Schmidt's in the house. Planet Pirma is here. Tired of hearing the BS too, but I have to keep up on what's going on. Well, folks, I think we've covered a lot of ground tonight, and I think that we will be back tomorrow. Actually, we will not be back tomorrow. I should point out I have some family obligations, and I've got some other work to do in the morning. So I want to get this stream out and cover the top stories of the day, as well as break down the latest breaking news feed stuff. But it's been a great show. Of course, we scrolled through the depths of X, formerly Twitter, and of course, uncovered some gems from Kamala's controversial past to politicians saying the darndest things. We've seen it all. But here's the thing. In this age of information overload, it's not just about what we find, it's about how we process it. So tonight, we didn't just read tweets, we dissected them, analyzed them, and got to the heart of what they really mean for our country. Your reactions in the chat have been phenomenal. You made me laugh, made me think, and most importantly, you have shown that the spirit of free thought is alive and well in America. Remember, Raw Feed isn't just a show, it's a community. We're here to cut through the noise, to find the signal in the static. So keep those critical thinking caps on, keep questioning everything, and never stop seeking the truth. If you enjoyed tonight's journey through the wild world of X, smash the subscribe button and ring the bell. And we'll be back soon with more unfiltered, uncensored truth that you won't find anywhere else. And hey, if you're feeling generous, those tip links are in the description. Every dollar helps us keep the lights on and the truth flowing. This is Gary Franchi, your guide through the digital jungle, signing off. Until next time, stay curious, stay vigilant, and remember, the real power isn't in the tweets that we read. It's in how we act on the information. Good night. Keep it raw, America.